What's up, y'all? My name is LB the Realist. This is Surrealistic Studios, where the real is surreal. Thank you for joining me today. So I wanted to do a video talking about the situation with R. Kelly. Now, I don't have internet right now. I don't have Wi-Fi, that is. So I'm unable to bring up any articles or any stories. So I'm just talking off the cuff here and giving you guys the real deal and what I feel. Now, I'm not defending R. Kelly. Let's nip that in the bud right now. Let's get that out the way. I'm not defending R. Kelly and his actions. What I will say is that, yes, R. Kelly deserves criticism. And if he's guilty of what they're accusing him of being guilty of, as far as holding women against their will, even though these women have come out and said that they're not being held against their will, and they've been spotted at R. Kelly concerts by TMZ. TMZ already debunked that theory that they're being held against their will, because if you're being held against your will, why are you at an R. Kelly concert, you know, just vibing to his music? Why don't you make your escape? 3 different women, you know, if I'm not mistaken, it was 3 different women. I say, if I'm not mistaken, and I think, and you know, I don't believe in absolutes. I could be wrong. And again, I don't have my laptop here. I don't have my Wi-Fi to, you know, to verify this information. But if I'm not mistaken, 3 different women were there at his concert. So, you know, some parents that came out of one of the women who's, I believe, 19 now or something like that. And they were on a show. I forget what show it was. God, they were on some show, and they were basically saying that their daughter had stopped, you know, keeping in contact with them, and that, you know, they think that she's being held against her will by R. Kelly, and there's some kind of R. Kelly sex cult going on. You know, my thing is this: there's a lot of blame and criticism and side eye that needs to be directed towards these parents of these girls who are, you know, impressionable. They're 16, 17, 18, whatever years old. You know, 18, you're an adult, but you know, you're still impressionable. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, I'm saying that there definitely should be responsibility for a grown person. If you're 18, you can go off to war. You know what I'm saying? Then you should be able to handle decisions such as being involved with R. Kelly, even though you know of R. Kelly's past. And that's another criticism I have of the parents. The parents knew about R. Kelly's past. They knew about Aaliyah. R. Kelly married Aaliyah when he was, I believe, 27, and Aaliyah was 15 years old. Now, how would that even be possible if it wasn't law? So it was law. It had to have been legal. And I've talked about this in other videos, that it's actually legal for you to marry a child in a lot of states. More states than you think. And one of the stipulations is you have to get authorization from the parents. From the parents. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, there has to be responsibility and accountability within the community. You knew about R. Kelly. You knew about R. Kelly back then. Don't try to use the Me Too movement in order to get some get back. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was acquitted in court from the R. Kelly tape, in which he allegedly appeased on a girl. And now I haven't seen the tape, so I don't know. I don't know. But people say that that's him, and that's the girl. The girl and her mother, I guess, said in court that that wasn't her, and he was acquitted. Now there's new reports of a new investigation, or multiple investigations being carried out as we speak on R. Kelly. A DA has come out and asked for anybody that has a story about R. Kelly to come forward and to be involved and to give information to this investigation. So she's basically opening the floodgates for potential accuser after accuser after accuser after accuser. And I've just seen it all before. Reminds me of Bill Cosby. Now, key differences between Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. We know R. Kelly messed with Aaliyah when she was 15. We know that R. Kelly had a thing for underage girls. So I'm not condoning that. You know, yo, we knew about that already. So again, that's part responsibility on everybody that knew back in the day. I remember hearing about that, and I was like, really? We're still supporting this? Oh, okay. You know? But yeah, that was the thing about it back then, and the parents need to be held accountable for that shit. For bringing the impressionable teenage girls around this guy when you know the history. You know? So, you know, like, again, I'm not defending R. Kelly at all. We knew about it. You know, he was acquitted. They're bringing up new allegations, or new, well, there are new allegations about this sex cult thing, but they're bringing up new investigations now. So they're trying to basically bring him back into the courtroom. They're trying to send him to jail. And now they had a documentary coming in. This is why it's all unfolding right now, because they had a documentary on, what was it, Lifetime or something like that? About, it was called Surviving R. Kelly, about how these women survived R. Kelly and his abuses. Now, there is a damning story about his ex-wife, I believe, about how he was abusive to her, and there was actually a case against him back in what was it, 2004, 2005, something like that, where she filed for she tried to get a restraining order against him. I'm not sure if she got it or if she tried to get it. I think she tried to get it, but then they decided to try to work it out or something like that. I don't know, but there were allegations since, you know, back then about it. So I don't know about R. Kelly's abuse. That's new for me. I knew about the Aaliyah thing. I knew he liked underage girls, but everybody seemed to just brush over it. You know, but he had his day in court. He was acquitted. The girl said it wasn't her. My problem is them painting this picture of black men in such an ugly, devious manner. And yes, there are a lot of black men that deserve such treatment. But I don't like the framing of the whole situation. I don't like how they're jumping from black man to black man to black man with all these documentaries and all these specials. But we don't see the same thing for a lot of our white counterparts out there. Where's the Harvey Weinstein documentary? Where's the Kevin Spacey special? What about all these countless men who have been, you know, known rapists and sexual assaulters and offenders, and that nothing happened to them? What about all of them? I don't see the same level of frustration and anger and resentment towards all of these people, but I see it for the black men. And I see them going so far as to dig up dirt from back in the past and throw on new dirt and new allegations and retrying black men, even though they were tried in the first place, trying to get more money, trying to get more attention, trying to totally eradicate their whole career, if I'm using eradicate correctly. I have a tendency to use words, and sometimes, when at the time, I don't think that I'm using it right, and then I look it up later, I'm like, damn, I knew what it was, even though I didn't know what it was. But anyways, I don't like the framing of the situation. I don't like how they're doing this. Again, I'm not defending R. Kelly. I don't know about this sex cult shit. I don't know nothing about that. These women have been spotted out in public, giving interviews and shit, and making videos. And so, you know, and if they're not underage girls, then what the fuck are we talking about? But I don't like the framing of this situation. I need my viewers to pay attention to the framing of the situation. I saw a meme that said niggas with allegations. It had a picture of Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, who was the other guy? I forget the other person, and Morgan Freeman. Oh, O.J. Simpson. And it was a picture it was a Death Row picture. And, you know, the old Death Row picture, if anybody's familiar with it, it has Snoop Dogg and I believe Dr. Dre and Suge Knight and Tupac, where they filled them in with Bill Cosby, O.J. Simpson, Morgan Freeman, and R. Kelly. And people just think that shit is so fucking funny. And it is. It is for like a split second. That shit is hilarious. And then you remember how they're you remember what the intention is. And then you see niggas with allegations. And then you kind of get more like, wait a minute, hold on. I don't like how this is framed. I don't like how we're laughing at black men like this. I don't like how we're painting black men as deviant sexual predators like this. Think about it, my folks. Bill Cosby is drugging and sexual assaulting and raping women, white women, and other women, but, you know, mainly white women back in the 60s and 70s. Nobody said a word. Okay, and then the whole trial was a farce. They didn't give him a legal trial, but nobody seems to care about that. They just want to see him in prison. Again, nobody's ever seems to bring up the fact that it wasn't a legal trial, but okay. Now they had a trial for R. Kelly. He was acquitted. Now they're bringing charges back up. They're asking for anybody to come in and tell their story. You know, they tried to get Neil deGrasse Tyson. They're trying to get who are all these? There's a list. They got a list going, and I don't understand. You know, Chris Brown is still being talked about. You know, and don't get me wrong, I don't condone what Chris Brown did either. But again, this is how they're framing it. Neil deGrasse Tyson, Morgan Freeman, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly. Now Michael Jackson. They're bringing Michael Jackson back into the conversation. Michael Jackson was also acquitted of 14 counts of sexual molestation charges against children or some shit like that. And these kids have come out later on in life and said that they lied for money. A couple months after Michael Jackson, a month or a couple months after Michael Jackson died, the father of one of the kids committed suicide. But this isn't talked about. Now they have a new special coming out, or Sundance film, talking about Michael Jackson and all of these bogus ass allegations. Do you see what they're doing here? Why are all these specials about all of these black men? Where are all the specials on the white men? I don't see equality here. And again, I'm being real. I don't condone some of these people's actions, but I don't agree with the framing and how they're doing. Look, pay attention to how they're doing this. Black man in the news, black man in the news, black man in the news, black man in the news. And a lot of these men had their day in court already. So that's my whole little 2 cents about the whole R. Kelly situation. You know, this was already done. You know, if he did something new, then yeah, he should be taken down. But if you're just rehashing old shit like you're trying to do for Michael Jackson, and you're just adding fuel to the flame of white supremacy in this country. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. That's all they're trying to do right now. And I strongly, in my heart, I believe that, because that's what I'm seeing. That's what the evidence points to. Because I don't see the same level of frustration like I see over here for black men. I don't see that over on this side. So that's disturbing to me. It hurts my feelings, and it's very hard to watch. This is very hard to watch as it all unfolds. And I'm just wondering who's next. Who's going to be the next black man to be this scrutinized and to have specials on them, and for them to put their face as the face of sexual assault and rape in a country that was founded on slavery, murder, theft, and torture. You tell me how that works, my viewers. Tell me how that works. Until next time, remember to love, light, keep spreading that enlightenment, keep fighting. Like this video if you like it, share it. Subscribe to me if you haven't before, and leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Even if you don't agree with me for whatever reason, let me know why you don't agree with me. Let me know why you think I'm wrong. Again, I'm not defending R. Kelly, but you let me know how I'm wrong about the whole framing of this situation. All right? Until next time, I'll see you guys on the next one. Try to be good. I know I will.